One of the more unique things about this property is its diversity, and we're seeing all different kinds of wildlife. This was the very first spring actually that we were able to even hunt turkeys. And part of the things that I picked up on when we were walking around and checking the property out was this generational roost. And there's this big stand of red oak out there, and we were just kind of poking around out there looking at the timber, whatnot, and all of a sudden we stumbled across on the ground where there was not just some turkey droppings, but there was actually a pancake area all around these oak trees that 1 inch to 2 inches thick. And that tells me that them birds have probably been there since they were migrated or transplanted into the area. And that we call that a generational turkey roost. And I've only seen that in one place before, and that's out in the open areas like in Kansas and stuff, where they have just a very few trees where they'll come in and they'll roost year after year after year and generation after generation. And to see that in Minnesota and actually have it on this property was just, to me, it was so cool.
Heading into the 2020 season, we're actually running our cell cameras the whole time. We started getting pictures of a lot of turkeys, a lot of toms, and one tom in particular had just really long spurs. Like we didn't know if they're 1.5 inch, 2 inch spurs, but it kind of set a goal for us to target one specific bird, which normally turkey hunting, that's not something that you normally do. So it's kind of cool, kind of a unique angle. To actually name this bird Captain Hook, I actually started getting a pattern of him. But to add to the challenge, we wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit. We wanted to go after him with a bow from the ground, no blind, and cameraman. So something we've never done before. We're looking for some epic footage, and we'll see if we can pull it off early in the season. Not a lot of cover, so we're trying to make some blinds and really mix it up, but it's going to be really tough, and we're going to give it a shot. First couple hunts that we went after Captain Hook, it had some action for sure, but these turkeys would sneak in. We weren't able to move, film, so we really didn't get any footage of it because they're just so close, and without a blind, you can't move. Their eyes are just way too good. We ended up calling Captain Hook in on our second time after him on this corner of the property, and he came in, he didn't like something. We don't know if it was the decoy setup. We had a strutter out, maybe he just saw us because we were a little bit more exposed, but seeing those big hooks as he walked away, those big spurs, gave us a little bit more drive and kind of made us take a step back and rethink our strategy. What's it going to take to kill Captain Hook?
JJ comes to me and says, hey, what should I do? And I'm like, you know what? Based on my experience, I would go out there without a decoy at all. But the fact that you're going to be sitting in a blind and that kind of thing, you almost have to have something that's going to take his eye off you. If you're going to get out there, just do one decoy, make it a stuffed decoy, a stuffed hen, so that you're not going to mistake. He knows that's real feathers. And maybe you'll get a shot at him coming through what you've patterned, coming through looking for those final few hens, and see if it worked out.
As we're set up for Captain Hook, the sun started to rise. A lot of cool things going on. Dew on the grass, birds chirping, pheasants. Turkeys were gobbling. They were still, they just got down from the roost, and we looked up in the field in front of us, and here come like 8 or 9 bucks, and velvet's starting to grow, and just such a cool morning. They're all interacting, wheezing at each other, posturing, ears are pinned back, and it's kind of cool to see them all back in their bachelor group interacting. They're already setting that pecking order for this next fall, and we're trying to figure out, which buck is who, but just really cool footage. Lighting was great and something to really pass the time.
It's a real unique time of the year when it comes to deer. And these are the types of things where you can just gather a ton of information. So these guys are hanging out together. Now these are buddies. This is a bachelor group. These are a group of deer that know each other, that hang out together. And what I think what a lot of people don't understand is when a young buck is born in a certain area, the moms kick them out of there for genetic reasons. They actually drive them out, and they don't want them in there breeding into the same bloodline as, you know, her and her offspring. So they go out and they kind of go to these areas and they start to kind of get these groups, and they really have come from different areas, and they end up becoming tolerable to each other. The age class varies, typically what I've seen from younger to even super mature. And, you know, then of course, obviously it changes after the summer, but that's a really cool thing to see those bucks, because we know that that's the generation, that's the herd, that's the bachelor group that we're going to be managing and that we're going to be hunting over the next years.
Trying something a little bit different today. Going back after Captain Hook, birds and big spurs. We've been trying them without a blind, and it's been really tough. There's not a lot of green growth right now, so it's been tough trying to conceal ourselves, cameraman and shooter. So we're in the blind. We got a little bit tighter to his roost, and we'll probably just be real quiet. He's a pretty smart bird, and just see if he likes that decoy and comes in and gives us a shot. So there's already been quite a few gobbles behind us and then one in front of us, so we're hoping for Captain Hook.
So when it comes to a calling technique, less is better in my opinion. And the strategies that I use is really low volume, try and get realistic sounds and different parts of the language in there. They get smart to that stuff, and they can start to identify, you know, that's not quite exactly what the hens do. You know, it tends to be a lower volume. So the strategy would be to just let that bird know I'm in an area that he's been cruising, and that's it. Let him come in from there.
There's two. That's not Captain Hook. It's not Captain Hook. There's a bird over to the right. That's Captain Hook. That's Captain Hook.
Captain Hook's over to our right, probably 40 or 50 yards. Trying to think how he's gonna come in. I think it's just gonna come down to patience. We got our stuffer hen right out in front of us, and I think we just gotta give him some time. I think he might see the decoy, he might have been nervous with that other tom, he didn't like the strutters to begin with, so I think patience is the key.
cedar 40, 50 yards away. We'll give him some time. That was pretty sweet. We changed up tactics the other day. We had a strutter out and he came in and he saw that strutter and he like got all nervous and ran away. And I was like, what the heck is that? Yeah, boom. Got him.
Well, he's right where we last saw him. He did a flip right off camera behind the cedar. And we're pretty sure it's Captain Hook. He didn't go far at all. Nice big fan. Decent size beard here. About 9-inch. But the big prize on this bird are these spurs. We call them Captain Hook for a reason. Can't believe how big these spurs are. I have to put a tape on them, but really, really cool hunt. Worked out just absolutely perfect. Couldn't be more happy.
Just everything came together that day, you know, these beautiful bucks coming up over the horizon in the morning, the experience of, you know, the hens and 2 toms actually competing and the anxiety of the hunt. It's pretty special first hunt. And to actually get your targeted bird, an old bird like that, that's a pretty big achievement.
Typically when we're hunting for whitetails, we're targeting specific bucks based on age, racks, genetics, things like that. But I don't think we've ever targeted a turkey based on a feature like spurs like this. So, you know, be able to go out to get all these trail camera pictures and videos of Captain Hook, be able to pattern him a little bit, and then go out there and actually target him, harvest him with the incredible footage, good shot, everything like that. Just a super incredible hunt. And, you know, to top it off, it was my first harvest on the new property too. So just a really special day, one that I'll never forget.